Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine stepping off a plane and being hit by the smell of rosewater, cumin, and charcoal smoke all at once. Imagine narrow alleyways so ancient they feel like walking through a living painting. Imagine rooftops where mint tea is poured from a height. The call to prayer echoes across a terracotta skyline, and the sun sets in shades of amber and gold over the Atlas Mountains. That is Marrakech. And in 2026, it is one of the hottest travel destinations on the planet, trending on every major travel list, from American Express to Condé Nast. But here is the thing, most travel videos will never tell you if you go to Marrakech without knowing what you are doing. You will spend most of your trip being overcharged, misled, and missing the actual soul of this city entirely. Today, we are going deep. Riads, uncovering the secret souk, the rooftop terraces locals actually use, the desert escape that will change your life, and every tourist trap you need to avoid. This is your complete insider guide to Marrakech 2026. Marrakech is one of the 4 imperial cities of Morocco, and it has been a center of trade, culture, and power for nearly 1,000 years. Because of the distinctive rose-pink color of its walls and buildings, a color that comes from the local sandstone and was made mandatory by royal decree centuries ago. The city is divided into 2 very distinct worlds. The Medina is the ancient walled city, a UNESCO World Heritage Site where the famous souk, mosques, palaces, and riads are packed together in a labyrinth that has barely changed in 500 years. Then there is Haggle, also called the Ville Nouvelle, or New City. Built during French colonial rule in the early 20th century, where you find wide boulevards, modern restaurants, art galleries, and international hotels. Most tourists stay in the Medina. Most tourists get completely lost, overwhelmed, and taken advantage of. By the end of this video, that will not be you. Marrakech Menara Airport is one of the most well-connected airports in Africa. Direct flights operate from most major European cities, including London, Paris, Madrid, Amsterdam, and Rome. From North America, most travelers connect through Casablanca's Mohammed V International Airport. Riads has direct flights from New York, Montreal, and Miami, with a short connecting flight to Marrakech. Budget airlines, including Ryanair and EasyJet, run extremely affordable routes from Europe, making Marrakech one of the cheapest exotic destinations, reachable from London or Paris. Sometimes under $50 each way if you book early enough, free. From the airport to the Medina, the journey is about 15 minutes by taxi. Agree on a fixed price before you get in. The standard rate to the Medina is around 70 to 100 Moroccan dirhams, which is roughly 7 to 10 US dollars. Do not accept a meter ride. The fixed price is always better in Marrakech. Let us settle this immediately. If you stay in a chain hotel in Marrakech, you are making a mistake. The experience you came here for lives inside the Riads. A riad is a traditional Moroccan house built around a central courtyard, often with a fountain, mosaic tiles, carved plasterwork, and a rooftop terrace. From the outside, they look like nothing, just a plain door set into a wall. But you step inside and suddenly you are in one of the most beautiful spaces you have ever seen. That contrast between the chaos of the outside alleyways and the serene beauty of the El Siria is one of the most distinctly Moroccan experiences in the world. The best riads are concentrated in the southern part of the Medina, near the Melek, the old Jewish quarter, and around the Mouassi neighborhood. Avoid riads. Ride on Jemaa El Avene Square. They are overpriced and noisy around the clock. Budget travelers can find beautiful riads starting at $30 to $50 per night. Mid-range riads in the $80 to $150 range will give you an absolutely stunning experience. And if you want luxury, Marrakech has some of the most exquisite boutique hotels anywhere in the world, with private plunge pools and personal butlers. For a fraction of what you would pay in Paris or New York, book your riads 6 to 8 weeks ahead, minimum. Especially for March, April, October, and November, the peak seasons. Here is what nobody tells you before your first visit to the Medina. It is designed to be confusing. The labyrinthine layout of the souk was intentionally built to disorient invaders and protect merchants centuries ago. Today, it disorients tourists instead, and some local guides and touts use that confusion to their advantage. Bear. The very first thing you need to do when you arrive is download an offline map of the Medina Haggle. Maps works reasonably well with downloaded offline data, but many experienced travelers swear by maps. Me for navigating the narrow alleyways. Even with a map, you will get lost. Accept this. Getting lost in the Medina is genuinely one of the great pleasures of traveling in Marrakech. The key landmarks you need to orient yourself by are Jema El Fna, the main square, and the Koutoubia Mosque, whose minaret is visible from almost everywhere in the Medina and acts as your compass point. Now let us talk about the touts. In the Medina, you will be approached constantly by young men offering to guide you somewhere, show you something, or help you find a specific location. The standard dynamic is that they guide you somewhere and then demand payment, or they guide you to a shop and earn a commission on whatever you buy. This is not inherently malicious. Many of these men are genuinely trying to earn a living in a difficult economy, but it can lead to uncomfortable situations if you are not prepared. The best approach is simple. Be friendly, be firm, and be clear. A warm smile and a direct no thank you repeated calmly works far better than looking flustered or annoyed. If you genuinely want a guide, hire one officially through your Riad, which will always have trusted connections, or through the official Marrakech tourism office. 2. The Souk of Marrakech are one of the greatest shopping experiences on earth, if you know how to navigate them. The Souk district sits just north of Jema El Fna and is organized loosely by trade, a system that has existed since medieval times. The Souk des Interiors, the Dia Souk, is one of the most visually spectacular places in all of Morocco. Enormous vats of natural dye in vivid colors stretch across the rooftops as workers dip and hang leather and wool to dry. It is extraordinary to photograph and extraordinary to simply stand and watch. The Souk Semarine is the main artery of the market, packed with textiles, clothing, and souvenirs. The further you walk from Jema El Fna, the more authentic and less tourist-oriented the products and prices become. Keep walking. The tourists thin out and the real artisans appear. The best things to buy in the Marrakech Souk are hand-woven rugs and kilims, leather goods from the famous Chora tannery, argan oil products, hand-beaten copper and brass lanterns, zealage mosaic tiles, and traditional Moroccan babouche slippers. Now haggling, too. This is non-negotiable in the Marrakech Souk, and refusing to do it is not considered polite, it is actually expected. The opening price given to a tourist is almost always 2 to 4 times the actual price the seller expects to receive. A reasonable strategy is to respond to the opening price with about 1/3 of what was quoted. Then meet somewhere in the middle. Never feel pressured. Walk away if the price does not feel right. In many cases, the seller will call you back immediately with a better offer. And if they do not, that simply means you are closer to the bottom price than you thought. The one item where haggling becomes genuinely complex is carpets. Carpet sellers in Marrakech are some of the most skilled salespeople in the world. The traditional tea on carpet session, where you are invited to sit, serve tea, and shown dozens of rugs while being slowly warmed up to a purchase, is a cultural experience in itself, but it can last hours and result in serious spending. Go in with a clear budget and a clear intention, and you will be fine. Jema El Fna is the beating heart of Marrakech, and one of the most extraordinary public spaces anywhere in the world. UNESCO recognized it not as a building or a monument, but as an intangible cultural heritage, because what makes it extraordinary is not the space itself, but what happens in it. During the day, the square is relatively calm, orange juice stalls, snake charmers, henna artists, and a few food stalls doing a quiet trade. But as the sun begins to drop, something magical happens. The square transforms. Stalls materialize from nowhere. Dozens of fires light up. Smoke rises into the cooling air, and suddenly hundreds of performers fill every corner of the space. Storytellers, acrobats, fortune tellers, musicians playing the traditional Nawa lute, and comedians performing entirely in Darija Moroccan Arabic to crowds who respond as if they are watching the greatest show on earth. Because, in many ways, they are. The tourist traps here are real. The snake charmers and monkey handlers will demand payment for photographs. If the henna artists will grab your hand and begin drawing before you have agreed to anything. Go in knowing what you want to engage with, agree on a price before anything begins, and carry small bills so you are not handing over large notes. For food at the square, the stalls are atmospheric, but not where locals eat. Locals eat in the small restaurants tucked into the surrounding streets. But if you want to sit at a square stall, walk past all of them first, compare what is being offered, and go to the one where you see the most Moroccan faces, not the one where the tout is most aggressively waving a menu at you. Here is something that separates a tourist from a traveler in Marrakech, knowing where the rooftops are. Almost every building in the Medina has a rooftop. And many of the best ones are hidden behind unmarked doors or accessed through cafes and riads that do not advertise themselves online. The rooftop of Cap des Epices overlooks the Rabba Kadima Spy Square and is one of the best places in the Medina for mint tea with a view, too. It is not a secret, but it is consistently good. Quiet in the mornings, atmospheric in the evenings. The rooftop of the Musée de Mouassine offers one of the most intimate views of the Medina's rooftop life. Laundry, satellite dishes, minarets, and the entire skyline stretching toward the Atlas Mountains. For the truly spectacular sunset rooftop experience, head to the rooftop terraces in the Mouassine neighborhood about 30 minutes before sunset. Find a riad or cafe that serves tea with a view and simply sit. What happens to the light in Marrakech during the golden hour, when the entire city turns from ochre to rose gold, is one of the most beautiful things you will ever see in your life. Marrakech has some of the most stunning palace ruins and gardens in the Islamic world. But they also get crowded, and the heat in summer is brutal. The strategy is simple: arrive at opening time or within the first hour. Every attraction in Marrakech looks and feels completely different, with thin crowds versus packed tourist lines. The Bahia Palace is a 19th century masterpiece of Moroccan architecture. Endless painted cedar ceilings, intricate tilework, and lush courtyard gardens. It was built by a Grand Vizier of the Sultan, and the name translates to brilliance. Even if palaces are not normally your thing, this one will get to you. The Sadian tombs are one of the most hauntingly beautiful spaces in all of Morocco, a 16th century royal necropolis, sealed by a sultan and not rediscovered until 1917. C. Central chamber contains 12 columns of Italian Carrara marbles surrounding a series of royal tombs. And the detail of the carved plasterwork above them is almost unimaginably fine. Arrive at 9 in the morning, sharp, and you will have it nearly to yourself. The Jardin Majorel is the most famous garden in Marrakech, a botanical garden and art museum created by French painter Jacques Majorel, and later owned by Yves Saint Laurent, whose ashes are scattered here. The electric cobalt blue of the buildings against the explosively green plants and vivid flowers is one of the most photographed scenes in all of Morocco. It is beautiful, but it is almost always packed with tourists from 10 in the morning onward. Go at opening 9 in the morning or in the late afternoon after 4. Moroccan food is one of the great cuisines of the world, and Marrakech is its finest stage. The combination of Berber, Arab, Andalusian, and sub-Saharan African influences creates a depth of flavor that is unlike anything else in the Mediterranean or Middle East. Tagine is the dish most people know, a slow-cooked stew of meat, vegetables, and deeply aromatic spices, like ras el hanout, preserved lemon, and saffron, cooked in the iconic conical clay pot. But the difference between a tourist tagine and a local tagine is enormous. Tourist restaurants serve watery, rushed versions. The real thing has been cooking for hours, and the depth of flavor is revelatory. For the best tagines in Marrakech, skip the restaurants directly on Gemma El Fanay and walk 2 or 3 alleyways deep into the Medina. Look for small, tiled rooms with plastic furniture, handwritten menus in Arabic and French, and Moroccan families eating. That is where you eat. Pastilla is one of Morocco's most extraordinary dishes, a flaky pastry pie filled traditionally with pigeon, almonds, and a blend of savory and sweet spices, dusted with powdered sugar and cinnamon. It sounds bizarre and it tastes like nothing else on earth. Order it everywhere you see it. Harira is the soup of Morocco, a hearty, warming blend of tomatoes, lentils, chickpeas, fresh herbs, and a squeeze of lemon. It is eaten every single day during Ramadan to break the fast, and it is served year-round in small restaurants across the Medina for almost nothing. For street food, the Metri stalls near the Melaquarda serve slow-roasted whole lamb from underground clay ovens. You point at the cut you want, it is weighed and priced on the spot, and you eat standing up with nothing but bread and cumin salt. It is one of the greatest street food experiences in the entire world. Marrakech's position at the foot of the Atlas Mountains. The edge of the Sahara makes it one of the best bases 4-day trips anywhere in the world. The Arica Valley is just 40 minutes from Marrakech and feels like a completely different planet. Berber villages cling to the sides of steep mountain valleys. Waterfalls cascade through terrace fields, and the air is cool and clear. This is where Marrakechis come on weekends to escape the city heat, and it remains remarkably untouched by tourism. The village of Ad Ben Haddou is a 2.5-hour drive from Marrakech, Nias, one of the most spectacular sights in all of North Africa. A fortified ancient city built entirely from sun-dried earthen bricks, rising from the desert landscape. It is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and has been the backdrop for dozens of major film productions. Visit in the morning before the tour buses arrive. And then there is the desert. The Sahara edge near Mazouga, with its famous Erg Chebi. Dunes rising to 150 meters is typically reached on a 3-day road trip from Marrakech, but several operators now offer 2-day express trips for travelers short on time. Watching the sun rise over the Sahara from the top of a sand dune, completely surrounded by silence, with nothing but golden sand in every direction, it is one of those travel experiences you simply cannot explain to someone who has not done it. You just know you have to. The fake guide who offers to show you the tanneries for free. The tannery viewing is always done through a leather shop that will pressure you to buy before you leave. The restaurant on Gemma El Afane, where the tout blocks your path and physically guides you to a seat, walk away. Every time. The hammam that is priced for tourists rather than locals. The standard tourist hammam experience is perfectly good. But if you want an authentic local hammam, ask your Riad to recommend one used by Moroccans in the neighborhood. Henna that is offered as a gift and then becomes a demand for $50. Never let anyone apply henna to your hands without a clear, agreed price first. Horse-drawn carriage rides in Gemma El Afane romantic, in theory. Extremely uncomfortable and overpriced in practice. Skip it. And finally, fake argan oil. Morocco is the only place on earth where argan trees grow naturally, and genuine argan oil is liquid gold. But the market is flooded with adulterated or fake versions targeted at tourists. Buy argan oil from women-esque cooperatives only. These are the genuine producers, and the money goes directly to Berber women-esque communities. Your Riad can direct you to a trustworthy one. Morocco uses the Moroccan dirham, which is a closed currency. You cannot buy it outside the country. Exchange money at the airport on arrival or at any bank in the city. ATMs are widely available. Credit cards are accepted in most hotels and larger restaurants, but the souk and small restaurants are cash only. The official languages are Arabic and Tamazight, the Berber language, but French is widely spoken as a practical second language, and basic French goes a very long way in Marrakech, in the tourist areas. English is increasingly common, especially among younger Moroccans. Morocco is a Muslim country, and dressing respectfully goes a long way, particularly for women visiting mosques or conservative neighborhoods. Loose clothing that covers shoulders and knees is appropriate for the Medina. Shorts and sleeveless tops are absolutely fine in hotel pools and garden restaurants. Ramadan, which in 2026 falls in late February through late March, transforms Marrakech completely. Many restaurants close during the day. The pace of the city slows dramatically in daylight hours, and then the city explodes with energy after sunset. It is one of the most extraordinary times to visit, but you need to plan accordingly for daytime food and drink. Tipping is standard and expected in Morocco. 10% in restaurants, 10 to 20 dirhams for porters and hammam attendants, and a negotiated fee for any guide services. There is a dimension to Marrakech that most travel guides completely miss, and that is its deep spiritual life. The city has been a center of Islamic scholarship and Sufi mysticism for centuries. The Nawa people, descendants of sub-Saharan African slaves brought to Morocco, practice one of the most extraordinary musical and spiritual traditions anywhere in the world. Nawa music combines Islamic devotion with ancient African ritual in a hypnotic, rhythmic experience that can last entire nights. Finding a genuine Nawa performance in Marrakech, not a tourist show, but a real ceremony, is one of the most profound cultural experiences available anywhere on Earth. The Zaviha of Sidi Bel Abbes is the most important of Marrakech's 7 sacred saints, shrines, a place of genuine pilgrimage and profound quiet in the middle of the city, kiosk. Non-Muslims cannot enter the innermost sanctuary, but can absorb the atmosphere from the surrounding streets and understand something deeply important about the spiritual life that has sustained this city for 1,000 years. Morocco has been investing heavily in tourism infrastructure while working hard to preserve the authenticity of its cultural heritage. In 2026, new rail connections are expanding across the country, making it easier than ever to combine Marrakech with Fez, Casablanca, and the coastal town of Essaouira in a single trip. International attention on Morocco is growing fast, not just from Europe, but from the Gulf states, Asia, and the Americas. The travelers who go now, before the Instagram crowds fully arrive and before the prices climb to match European destinations, will be the ones with the real stories to tell. Marrakech is one of those rare places that gets under your skin and never fully leaves. The sounds, the smells, the colors, the taste of food cooked over charcoal in a centuries-old alleyway. It rewires something in you. In 2026, go deep. And whatever you do, avoid the tourist traps and find the real city hiding just behind the first layer. If this guide helped you plan your Marrakech adventure, drop a like and subscribe for the next video in our 2026 Hidden Destinations series.